And tonight we are hearing from a Valley man who nearly lost his life to the virus. KC24's Rhett Rodriguez joining us now live in studio with more on that. Hi, Rhett.
Well, Eric, 10 years ago next month, retired Clovis Unified teacher and baseball coach Tim Thiessen was lying in a hospital bed in a daze as his body began to shut down. It took days before doctors figured out that he had West Nile virus.
Somewhere during that time, the doctor told my wife that I may not make it through the night.
10 years ago, Clovis North High School PE teacher and coach Tim Thiessen was running a baseball camp in Southern California when he suddenly began to feel sick.
I was feeling nauseous and the ceiling was spinning.
Thiessen was rushed to the hospital, and it took doctors several days to figure out what was wrong with him. By the time he was diagnosed with the West Nile virus, Thiessen's body temperature had spiked to 105 degrees. He also lost use of his arms and legs, and his kidneys began to fail.
After my wife came back down there to check on me, I didn't know who she was. I didn't know the names of my kids, and it was going down really fast. There was a temperature gauge at the bottom of my bed, and I was packed in ice. I was in a room that was about 53 degrees.
After 5 days in intensive care, Thiessen began to rebound, responding to the treatment. He spent 11 more days in the hospital before he was transferred to a rehabilitation center in Fresno, where he spent an additional 2 weeks.
Coming into home plate.
Even though he was out of the hospital, Thiessen still had a long road to recovery. He spent 6 months in physical therapy, relearning basic tasks after suffering severe nerve damage.
I had to learn how to walk all over again. I had to learn how I had to balance. I had to learn to balance. I had speech therapy.
After a lot of work, Thiessen was able to return to Clovis North in the spring of 2015. Thiessen has since retired from coaching and teaching, but says every now and then he gets calls from people who are going through a similar experience as he did with the West Nile virus.
I've had 2 or 3 different people call me and ask me to come see their loved one that's going through West Nile virus, and I've been there to encourage them and say, hey, if I can do it, you can do it.
Thiessen says since surviving West Nile, he's watched all 4 of his children get married, and he now has 9 grandchildren. Reporting live in the studio, Rhett Rodriguez, KC24, local news that matters.